Pretty far in the girls' high school basketball postseason here in Indiana. This past weekend was regionals, and we had a couple local teams moving on to semi-states. And let's start in Class 3A, where in a battle of two local teams, Northwood took down New Prairie 54-41. It was a close game for most of the way, and it was tied at 35 apiece heading into the fourth quarter. And then in the final 8 minutes, Northwood outscored New Prairie by 13 points. Claire Payne, well, she had a big day scoring 18. They're now moving on to the semi-state round where they'll play another local team, and that's Bremen, as the Lions also won their regional game at Jimtown on Saturday, beating Hanover Central 41-37. The Lions actually got down early in this one, but stuck around and pulled out the win in the end. They had a pretty balanced attack in this one with 3 players in double figures. Alana Grubbs led the way with 14 points, while Keela Foster had 12 and Emma Kincaid had 11. We'll have more on their semi-state matchup against Northwood in just one moment, but first we had one more team get a win over the weekend as Marquette Catholic beat Morgan Township 54-43. In the win, Lanaya Davis had a huge day, 25 points for Marquette Catholic, while Marissa Pleasant added in 14. They'll play Caston in semi-states on Saturday. So with that, we now bring in South Bend Tribune's prep sports reporter Austin Huff to preview the semi-state round. And Austin, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, second week in a row. I'm just glad to be here. I didn't get fired yet. So
I was going to say.
It's good to know.
All right, let's start with Northwood. What makes this Panthers team so special?
It feels like every Northwood team plays really good defense, and this one is no exception. I mean, when you have a 6'2" player like Claire Payne down in the post, that helps a lot with the defense. But they just do everything kind of well right now. They've overcome adversity, too. They had Jocelyn Edwards, their second leading scorer, Tara ACL in January. She wasn't supposed to, she was a big part. Now they don't have her, but they have just found ways to grind it out, kind of a gritty, Northwood team.
I was going to say a really good defense from what I've seen from them so far.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 2020 when they won state, they were best defense in the state. Even the boys team last year was the best defense in the state when they won. Northwood just does defense really well.
All right, now let's get to the team they're going to be playing as this is as they're going to be playing Bremen.
Yeah.
It's a Lions team that's kind of picked it up in the second half of the season.
They were 8-11. I don't think anyone in there had them as a sectional champion. They were definitely not on my radar, and I have to cover them for like a living. So, but here they are, man, 15-11. They have 1 senior on the team, only 9 on the roster total. It's impressive that they've actually gotten this far. You mentioned Foster and Grubbs. They have been really good at just kind of picking up the offense. They are probably their 2 most talented players, and they've done a great job. And again, they're playing good defense too. To hold an opponent to 37 points in a regional game is impressive.
And I mean, these two teams have already played each other this season.
Yes, yeah, Northwood beat them, Bremen by 8 in December. Both coaches, I talked to them today, they were like, we are not really watching that tape because both teams are different than what they were, a couple months ago, obviously. So should be a fun game at Huntington North on Saturday at noon.
And then finally, real quick, Marquette Catholic, what do you see from this team?
Similar to Bremen, they don't have many seniors. Their top 8 players are all underclassmen. Lanaya Davis has become a superstar for them, 25 points, 21 in the second half, by the way, in that regional game. So, I mean, she's really good. The ceiling is high for them. Even if they don't win this weekend, they got a tough game with Caston. They got a real chance to make some noise next year and the following year with this whole team basically coming back.
Of course, a really strong second half for Lanaya.
Yes, yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on for another week. We can check out more of his stuff with the South Bend Tribune and also follow him on Twitter at Austin R. Huff. And stick with us. Well, one more check on that forecast when we come back.